Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the city of Inez in Martin County could be dissolved after the November election.
And after nearly 40 years in office, Congressman Hal Rogers is recognized for his work battling the opioid crisis.
Plus, in less than 2 weeks, President Trump will make a campaign stop here in the Bluegrass, and in Lexington, officials are preparing for the visit.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:01. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Madison Pergram.
Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning. Madison, it's chilly. It's a little bit chilly, but we're going to see some warmer temperatures today.
Yeah, but then he was talking about Halloween, and it's going to be a lot cooler.
Yeah, I know. If you're getting ready to take your kid out this time next week, you're going to want to be put on warning, right, Brandon?
If you're taking your kid out this time next week, it's too early. You're going to miss trick-or-treating. But yeah, I knew what you meant. But yeah, you are going to want to buy some warmer costumes if you can get those for next week because it's looking chilly. But let's talk about current conditions first. Frost advisory continues until 9. Outside WYMT, things are fairly quiet once again this morning. Temperatures in the 30s, mid to upper 30s down toward the Cumberland Valley, I-75 and Lake Cumberland corridors. Got a report of some heavy frost down in Barberville this morning, down in Knox County. A little extra on the coffee meter. You sure need that this morning because it is a bit on the chilly side. 69 though later today with lots of sunshine. We'll talk more about the forecast, including the Halloween forecast coming up here in just a little bit.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, we learned earlier this morning that a hospital in Mingo County, West Virginia, has filed for bankruptcy protection.
Williamson Memorial Hospital made the Chapter 11 filing Monday in federal bankruptcy court.
The filing lists at least 50 creditors and totals the hospital's assets and liabilities both at between $1 and $10 million.
For more information on this filing, you can visit our website at WYMT.com.
Well, not all furloughed workers offered their jobs back plan to return to work at 2 Wyoming coal mines. Many say they simply do not want to work at formerly Black Jewel-owned mines. On Friday, a subsidiary of Alabama-based FM Coal bought the Eagle Butte and Bel Air mines. One miner said he got an offer to return to work at Bel Air, which included a 4% raise. While FM Coal's subsidiary Eagle Specialty Materials promises to pay wages owed from before the bankruptcy, miners in Wyoming, like here in eastern Kentucky, still say they are waiting to collect back pay.
And the city of Inez in Martin County could be dissolved after the November election.
Yeah, we got a tip yesterday and saw the ballot. It's an incredible story. This comes after some believe they are not receiving anything for their tax dollars.
WYMT's Marian Fletcher talked with the mayor about it.
It is a big decision, one that could change a course of an eastern Kentucky city.
It was just a group of disgruntled citizens that were former commissioners of the city.
One question on an upcoming ballot may dissolve the city of Inez in Martin County.
And I think that they feel if they cannot run the ship, they would rather see it sink.
City Mayor Ed Daniels says he is worried about what will happen to the city if it is passed.
I have talked to some of them, and they tell me if it is dissolved, that they will not be able to pick up the things that the city does.
He says this includes snow removal, street lights, and garbage collection.
That is all that we can afford right now with our revenue base.
Daniels says those who live here do not realize what it takes to run a city.
These people are telling them that they're not receiving any services for their tax dollars.
And until the election, he and his office plans to complete the same tasks they always have.
The city is clean, weeds are cut, the garbage is collected. There's just other things.
As he hopes to keep the city afloat in Martin County. Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now the election is November 5th.
Governor Bevin says he is excited about President Trump coming back to the Commonwealth to campaign for him on the eve of the election. It'll happen in Lexington. The governor said he spoke to the president Tuesday. That's when he was asked if there was any discussion about the president's controversial comment comparing the impeachment probe to a lynching.
Is there a lot of very specific and dark history associated with that? Of course there is. But to assume that that is now forevermore the only thing that that word, which actually has true meaning in the English language, can ever be associated with, and that it could never be used in any other context, is a torturing of the language that, frankly, at the end of the day, doesn't do anyone to serve anyone well.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said of the president's comments, quote, "Given the history of our country, that was an unfortunate choice of words."
And a new mural painted on a downtown Lexington building earlier this week has been modified after creating some controversy. The mural, titled "The Devil is in the Details," is on the wall of a building on West Short Street. The piece originally had an expletive against President Trump in the painting. And according to Prohibition, which commissioned the artwork, the owner of the building decided to have the artwork changed after being harassed.
Well, in less than 2 weeks, President Trump will make a campaign stop here in the Bluegrass.
It's part of his campaign for re-election, but it falls on the eve of Election Day here in Kentucky.
With the high-profile visit, city leaders are already getting ready for the visit. Hillary Thornton explains their focus before the rally.
In less than 2 weeks, President Donald Trump will be in downtown Lexington.
It's going to be probably a mess downtown.
Businesses are already prepping for the extra crowd and extra security. In some other cities with recent presidential visits, nearby businesses have just closed up for the day.
No, never. We couldn't. It's beginning of Pizza Week.
Monday, November 4th, the start of Pizza Week in Lexington. It's also the eve of a hotly watched governor's election. This rally is a Keep America Great rally as part of the president's 2020 re-election efforts. It certainly is seen as a major effort to support Governor Matt Bevin.
I think what it'll do is just get people paying attention to the fact that there's an election the next day, so I'm grateful that he's coming.
Well, you know, I don't know that anybody's coattails are long enough to save Matt Bevin from himself.
Lexington Mayor Linda Gordon and other city leaders fielding many questions about the visit, talking through some of that at a council work session.
Our standard is about protection of free speech and safety for everyone.
The mayor explaining extra costs do come with visits by national figures with Secret Service protection, and that there is no law allowing a city to charge for those costs, or that requires the campaigns to reimburse the city. It is expected that more than 10,000 people will be inside Rupp Arena for the rally. And that 10,000 number is what triggers a standard agreement in place between the city and the Lexington Center when it comes to providing extra security.
The police department will provide traffic control for that event if it's over 10,000 people. Not necessarily security in its true sense. In other words, officers inside the event.
Now in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Now, some businesses in the area that will not benefit from the extra people in downtown are working on plans to either have their employees work from home that day or to only be open for a half day due to expected traffic issues.
And Governor Bevin will go on a multi-city tour days before President Trump's arrival. On Friday, November 1st, he will have 4 stops in southern and eastern Kentucky. That includes Pulaski County, Corbin, London, and Hazard. Congressman Hal Rogers will join the governor for the first 3 stops. Governor Bevin's campaign says a special VIP guest will also be announced soon.
Wonder who that could be. Well, after nearly 40 years in office, Congressman Rogers is recognized for his work battling the opioid crisis. Mothers Against Prescription Drug Abuse gave their first humanitarian award to Congressman Rogers at a luncheon in Washington yesterday. The congressman helped launch the Congressional Caucus on Prescribing Drug Abuse, bringing together lawmakers to secure funding and improve laws to tackle addiction issues. He also started the organization Operation Unite right here in eastern Kentucky to battle substance abuse. But what the congressman says he is most proud of is his annual Prescription Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit,
where we bring together some 4,000 or 5,000 people from across the country that are concerned with the problem that we're facing. That really works. And we're seeing new organizations spring up because of that. We're seeing a rededication to erasing the stigmatism that goes with drug use.
National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day is taking place this Saturday. To find a site near you to drop off your unused prescription drugs, head to takebackday.dea.gov.
Forecast a little bit on the chilly side this morning, but things will look better later today outside. Excuse me, Buffalo Mountain there outside on the camera. You can see things are fairly quiet, as mentioned there. Not too many major issues going on this morning as you first head out the door. We are seeing some cooler temperatures this morning. You can see those 30s down toward the Cumberland Valley, I-75 and Lake Cumberland corridor. Still some 40s on some of those ridges and close to 50 there in Wise. State temperatures 51 in Paducah, but 35 in the Tri-Cities of East Tennessee. 39 Cincinnati and 43 in Nashville. Headlines today, we are going to see again the possibility for a little bit of having some graphic issues, but we're going to see the frost go away and we're going to see sunshine come out. More on that in just a little bit.
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning.
More news and working graphics are on the way.
Coming up, we take a look at some puppies currently in prison, learning how to help others while already helping the people inside.
Plus, Kentucky has earned a reputation as one of the states with the weakest animal protection laws, but one city is working to change that.